Hello, this is Dr. Sonja, and welcome back to Dr. Sonja TV, The Wisdom Vault. Today, I want to talk to you about when times get hard or challenging, what do you do? You know, there are times that I sit and I think about where I am right now. And one would even say that, hey, you're in a great place. I would not argue with that. But what I will say, there have been challenges that I've had to endure, overcome, fight through, go around, and go under. But even though you're being challenged, it doesn't mean you stop. I get that life is lifing. I-N-G-G-G-G-G-G. Life is lifing. But that doesn't mean you stop. I know that people around you are maybe talking about you, they're rejecting you, they're neglecting you, but you can't stop. I know that that job or that career that you're in right now is very much trying and challenging you, that very last nerve that you may have, but you can't stop. I know that the relationship that you're in, and maybe your marriage is not where you want it to be, and you realize that it's come to a place in a space, in a situation where, oh no, that one has to stop. But it doesn't mean you stop. Even though things that may be happening or things that are happening to you may make you feel like you just want to give up. But you can't stop. If I were to go back and remember the day that I wanted to take my life, yes, me. I remember sitting on my suicide couch and thinking, man, I don't want to live like this. I literally felt like a dead woman walking. What does that feel like? Emptiness, drainage, just drained, completely empty. I didn't have anything else to give to my kids, to the people, to my job, I didn't have anything else to give. I wanted to give up. And honestly, if I did not, and if I was not a believer that thinking that if I did something to myself that I wouldn't go to a dark, deep place, I probably would have done it, but I didn't. I'm so grateful that I didn't. I'm so grateful that I didn't give up. I did not want my children to have to tell and share with the world or with other people. So where's your mom? Yeah, my mom's not here with us anymore. And they have to explain or deal with the fact of finding my lifeless body. So I made a decision that I'm not going to do that. I made a decision not to give up. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a place where, oh yeah, I just decided. No, I had to fight through that thing for years. And it just came to that very moment like, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm so glad I didn't give up. Because if I would have given up, I would have never been there to see my son propose to my bonus daughter. I would have never seen the pictures of my youngest proposing to my soon-to-be bonus daughter. I would not be here to have conversations with my oldest about maturity and walking through a thing. I wouldn't even be here to even talk to you. It would be somebody else on this side. But I quickly realized because I did not give up, I had so much more to give. So what I'm saying to you, although things are happening in your life, it does not mean you give up. But what you can do, if I may give you 3 quick things that you can begin to do now. If you're at a place in a space where life is lifing, it is getting heavy, you're at a place where possibly you're starting to fall into this depression. Been there too. I took medication to wake up, to go to sleep, and to function during the day. And these are the things that I did to come out of that place. Number 1, I start forcing myself to really think differently. But I had help. I went and got professional help to help me think differently. It was needed. Absolutely needed. I needed professional help. And although I thought I was getting professional help, they gave me some medication. Let's just be real. We're not even going to get into that conversation and that topic. I went and got the much needed help, and I sat down on someone's couch to share with them what I was going through. Because the truth be told, I didn't want to be that vulnerable in front of people. People think that you have it all together, so they assume that you don't deal with anything. That is not true. That is so far from the truth. If you need, get the professional help. The second thing that I did, I took the focus off of me. Because I honestly was living in this place, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, me. And I said, I don't want it to be about me anymore. Who can I help? Although I was still going through a thing, I started to look at who can I help through this process, because I didn't want my worst enemy to go through the hell I was going through. And so I began to focus on other people. And how did I get or find out who needed my help or needed the conversations? I pushed go on live on social media. I just began to talk and became very vulnerable to the world that I had no idea how mean, even though I knew how mean and how nasty some people can be. Like somebody along this video is going to say something mean and nasty. Normally it's a bot, or it's a young child, or it's a person that is miserable themselves. I'm just saying. But I stopped focusing on me, and I stopped focusing on the people who are going to have something negative to say. And I began to share with people who needed to hear what I needed to say. And it began to do a thing. It began to help them, and it also released me of the guilt and all the things that I went through. It helped me prepare myself for what was to come, is where I am right now. Sharing and taking things off of just it being about you and about other people, it just changes your focus. It's like I began to shed dead skin off of my body, literally. My skin started to peel. I'm not lying. I'm so serious. I didn't know what was happening, but it was like I was transforming into this other person because I stopped thinking about me and started thinking about other people and how I could help them. And the very last thing that I did, I made a decision. This is just for me. I made a decision that I was going to believe in something much bigger than where I was and where I was going. Maybe for you is your God. For me it was God, but it was also not just the higher being that I believed in. I started believing in me. Me. You know, I'll laugh, and I laugh when I say this, but I remember seeing Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I'm still a 70s baby. I remember Snoop Dogg doing this interview. He said, I want to thank me. When life is lifing and all hell is breaking loose, I want to thank me for showing up. I want to thank me for going through the trenches and still showing up. I want to thank me for having visions about my life being better and putting things into action. Now, he didn't say that. I'm saying it. But all I remember him saying, I want to thank me. I started putting in the work. And that's what I'm recommending you do. Get the much needed help that you may need. Start thinking and controlling what you're thinking about, and not thinking about your situation, but how you can help somebody else. And then get in a place that you know that you have to take action for your own life. You don't have to be exactly where you are a year from now, 36 months from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Those 10 years are coming. I would highly recommend you be a better person than you were today or yesterday when that time passes. And so as you're going through this process, I just want you to think about where you are right now and how much better your life would be as you begin to see it changing and shifting to be better. It's all I wanted to say to you today. As you're watching this, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And maybe you need to hear it every single day for the next 30 days until you begin to understand and reflect. This life is no longer about you. Life is happening not to you, but it's happening for you. This is Dr. Sonja, and I'll see you next time on the Wisdom Vault.